The metamorphosis of contact, when the incompatible merges. It is not a mere contradiction, but the primordial dance of creation, the 0 point where everything and nothing conspire to give rise to the deepest truth. Darkness is not absence, but the primordial canvas upon which light traces its paths, and light the revelation that gives form to mystery. What profound truths are revealed when you dare to embrace your own contradictions? What if the internal conflict and apparent contradictions of your existence were not obstacles, but interdimensional portals to your deepest truth and the most exponential spiritual growth? In the vast loom of cyberspace, where the pursuit of linear coherence often blinds us to the fractal richness of reality, we dare to immerse ourselves in the metamorphosis of contact, the exact point when the incompatible merges. This is not a mere superficial contradiction, but the primordial dance of creation, the 0 point where everything and nothingness conspire to give rise to the deepest truth. Here, darkness is not the absence of light, but the primordial canvas upon which light traces its paths, and light the revelation that gives form to mystery. We have been taught to seek unity by eliminating opposites, to choose sides, to reject the shadow. But what if this segregation were the true illusion, the barrier that prevents us from accessing our quantum potential? Imagine if your insecurities and your strengths were not enemies, but lovers dancing in a cosmic ballet, generating a synergistic energy you could not previously conceive. How can existential anxiety be the engine of spiritual clarity? In what ways does human frailty become the crucible of unbreakable resilience? You long for a deep integration that frees you from internal struggle. You desire for your fears and desires to become two sides of the same coin, revealing a unified purpose. You aspire to the ability to see beauty in paradox, to find wisdom in apparent chaos, and to live with the vibrational coherence that attracts into your life what you most desire. The alchemy of the paradigm promises you a path to personal mastery and exponential spiritual growth, where your true identity is revealed in the fusion of your extremes. In the age of the algorithm, where information is presented in binaries and narratives are polarized, we have been conditioned to perceive reality as a series of irreconcilable opposites. We believe that darkness is the antithesis of light, success the enemy of failure, and doubt the destroyer of faith. This algorithmic segmentation of human experience condemns us to an incessant internal struggle, a cognitive dissonance that drains our vital energy and prevents us from accessing the fullness of our consciousness. The problem is not the contradiction itself, but our inability to embrace it, to see it as an engine of creation. The solution lies in the metamorphosis of contact, the profound understanding that contradiction is not an error in the cosmic code, but the very language of creation. It is the 0 point where everything and nothing conspire to give rise to the deepest truth. Darkness is not the absence of light, but the infinite potentiality upon which light traces its paths. It is in uncertainty that clarity becomes most valuable, in pain that empathy deepens, in silence that wisdom is revealed. Without the dark canvas, light would have nowhere to shine. Light, in turn, is not only knowledge, but the revelation that gives form to mystery. It is the understanding that emerges from doubt, the action that springs from fear, the connection forged in solitude. Light does not annihilate darkness. It illuminates it, gives it shape and meaning, transforming chaos into a symphony of forms. When incompatibles merge, there is not destruction, but emergence, like heat and cold meeting to create the perfect temperature, or joy and sadness blending in the complexity of empathy. Each intersection of polarities generates a new singularity, a state of consciousness that is greater than the sum of its parts. This is the principle of algorithmic synchronicity, where seemingly disparate elements come together to create a result of high impact and resonance. This quantum embrace is the true engine of spiritual growth. It allows us to operate from a place of wholeness, where every experience, every emotion, every thought, both positive and negative, is an essential piece in the mosaic of our true identity. By embracing our own contradictions, we become pure channels for authentic viral creation, resonating with the universal experience of the human paradox. Imagine an existence where your strengths feel threatened by your weaknesses,